I didn't tell anyone exactly where I was going, just that I needed time. After the divorce, after months of pretending to hold it together, I wanted somewhere no one could find me. The beach hut I'd booked was half forgotten on some outdated rental site, tucked away in the quieter end of the Outer Banks. Off-season, cheap, perfect. The place was smaller than the pictures, but charming in a weathered way. Gray shingles, warped porch steps, and the kind of salty air that settles in your lungs. No Wi-Fi, no neighbors, just dunes and the constant hush of the Atlantic. I unpacked in silence, my footsteps creaking across the old wooden floor. The wind outside had a rhythm, slow and patient, like it had nowhere else to be. It was peaceful, but there was something else too, not wrong exactly, just aware, like the house was listening. That first evening, I stood barefoot on the porch with a glass of wine, watching the sun sink into the water. The sky went gray before it went dark, and the silence grew heavier with each passing hour. I came here to be alone, but by nightfall, I wasn't sure I actually was. On the third morning, I found the journal. It was wedged under a loose floorboard beneath the bed, thin, leather-bound, damp at the corners. No name on the cover, just brittle pages filled with tight, slanted handwriting. The first entry was dated October 14th, 2022. 3 years ago, almost to the day. Arrived alone. Feels good to be away. So quiet here. I smiled at the familiarity, but as I flipped through, the entries shifted, from calm observations about the ocean and solitude to something more restless. By page 20, the writer, Leah, mentioned hearing whispers in the dunes, waking up with sand in her mouth. Something in the walls, she wrote, or under them. That same night, I noticed the scratches. They were low on the inside at the back door, just above the floorboard. Faint, but deliberate. 4 lines, then 5, like someone had clawed at the wood from inside. And each morning since I arrived, the driftwood sculpture near the dunes looked different. First, a circle, then a triangle. This morning, it was shaped like an open eye. I didn't touch it. I hadn't even gone near it. Still, somehow, it changed. And something told me it wasn't done yet. The wind changed that night. It howled through the cracks like something alive, rattling the old windows and turning the ocean mist into a thick curtain that swallowed the moon. I woke at 2:13 a.m., heart pounding for no reason I could name. Then I heard it. Faint, rhythmic, footsteps, not crunching gravel or shifting floorboards, sand. Slow, deliberate steps circling the hut just outside. I held my breath and waited. They stopped near the back wall. Then, 3 sharp knocks on the window by the kitchen, the one that faced the dunes. I didn't move, not even to look. In the morning, there were no prints. The sand was smooth, untouched, like it had never happened. But I knew what I heard. And that wasn't the last time. Every evening after that, just as the sun dipped low, I'd get this tight, crawling feeling, like eyes were fixed on me from the dune grass. I tried telling myself it was wildlife, wind, nerves. But by the 4th night, my phone was dead, no bars, just no service. Whatever was happening here, it didn't want me calling anyone. It wanted me alone. And it was making damn sure I stayed that way. The library in town was nearly empty. I told the woman behind the desk I was researching local history for a writing project. She pointed me toward old newspaper archives. I searched Leah's full name, scribbled on the inside cover of the journal, Leah R. Morrison. One article, small, barely 100 words. Local woman missing? Authorities continue to search for Leah Morrison, 29, last seen renting a beachfront cottage near Rodanth. No signs of foul play. Weather conditions delayed early search efforts. That was it. No follow-up. No body found. Just gone. A knot tightened in my chest. I needed air. The diner on Main was half empty too, off-season quiet. I picked at a slice of pie I didn't order and asked the waitress, older, sharp-eyed, if she knew anything about the cottage. Her hand paused over the coffee pot. That place? She said, voice low. People who stay out there this time of year, they start seeing things that aren't quite there, hearing things, sometimes walking into the sea like it's calling their name. I asked her what happened to Leah. She just shook her head. Some folks don't come back. I drove back to the hut in silence. But I didn't pack. I needed to know what was happening, feeling invigorated. The figure appeared on the sixth night. At first, I thought it was a trick of the fog. Just a shape, tall and still, standing at the crest of the dunes where the beach meets the sky. No movement, no sound, just there. I stared through the window for almost an hour, refusing to blink too long. It didn't come closer, but it didn't leave either. By the time morning broke, it was gone. That same day, I flipped open Leia's journal, needing some kind of tether, and that's when I found the new page. Crisp, untouched, the ink darker than the rest. October 12th. Claire arrived today. She thinks she's alone. She isn't. The dunes are listening. The sea remembers her. I dropped the book. I hadn't written that. No one else could have, not unless... That night, I bolted the front and back doors, even shoved a chair under the knob. I barely slept, but when the sun finally rose, the back door was wide open. No footprints, no sign of a break-in, just the wind and the cold. Something had come in, or maybe I had gone out. I wasn't sure which possibility scared me more. I needed proof, anything to tell me I wasn't losing my mind. So I set up my phone on a makeshift tripod, angled toward the front door, recording overnight. It felt ridiculous, but I needed to see. The next morning, I watched the footage, hands trembling. At 2:47 a.m., I appeared in the frame, eyes open, but empty. I unbolted the door without hesitation, stepped outside barefoot, and walked straight toward the dunes. The camera kept rolling. I didn't come back for over 2 hours. When I finally did, my nightgown was soaked. Sand clung to my legs. I moved like I was half asleep, or not myself at all. I don't remember any of it. I told myself I would leave. I packed a bag. I even sat in the car, keys in hand. But something held me there, a pull I couldn't name. Not fear exactly, something deeper, familiar. That night, I woke waist-deep in the surf. The sky was black. The waves were gentle, like arms around me. I didn't know how long I'd been standing there. My body was frozen, lips blue. Back inside, Leah's journal was open on the bed. The last entry, fresh and ink wet, read, "The ocean doesn't take you. It remembers you. It waits." Claire Wallace never came home. Her sister reported her missing 2 days after the rental was supposed to end. Local deputies found her car still parked out front, keys on the driver's seat, inside the beach hut, a half-packed suitcase, a cold mug of tea, and a leather-bound journal lying open on the bed. The last entry read only, "I think I understand now. She didn't vanish, she dissolved." There were no signs of a struggle, no forced entry, just the endless churn of waves and wind outside. The back door, again, stood ajar. Search teams combed the area for days. Dogs picked up her scent, but lost it abruptly at the shoreline, as if Claire had simply stepped into the sea and disappeared. No charges, no answers, just another quiet case added to the local folklore. Weeks later, the listing for the beach hut quietly reappeared on a discount rental site. Charming oceanfront getaway, Outer Champs, NC. Same faded photos, same promise of seclusion and serenity. All dates open except for fall. Autumn always fills on its own. No ad boosts, no guests' reviews, no one ever remembers booking it. But somehow, every year, someone does, and they never come back the same.